tuning in tonight for the Channel 162 Nightly News. Our first topic of discussion tonight is government trust. American satisfaction with the government has been reaching record lows. The Pew Research Center has reported that currently only 16% of Americans trust the government to do what is best for them. These are the lowest numbers we have seen since 2011 at 11%, which is the lowest point in our history. The question is, what is this mindset going to do for our future? How will it shape the government in the coming years? It's anybody's guess what the next generations of politicians will do.
Senator Pruitt, we've all felt the effects of the country's rising unemployment rates. What is your plan to curb this growing issue?
Well, yeah, it's been a hard time for everyone, and my heart goes out to all of those hardworking Americans who are being affected. As you know, I've been working tirelessly on reforming and funding the education system, just recently.
So your plan is to send unemployed Americans back to school?
Well, as you know, lately I have been working on refunding the public education system. The kids are our future, and as a mother myself...
I'm sorry, ma'am, but you didn't answer my unemployment question. Can we go back to that?
Well, I did, but if you could please stop interrupting me, that would be great. Thank you.
No, you didn't answer it.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Why are you dodging the question?
Every 2 years, the American politics industry fills the airwaves with the most virulent, scurrilous, wall-to-wall character assassination of nearly every political practitioner in the country, and then declares itself puzzled that America has lost trust in its politicians.
That one I recognize. It is true. I think in that column, I was writing that if the airline industries ran ad against each other, the way that Democrats and Republicans do, they would highlight the crashes and all the crying and all this. Nobody would ever step on an airplane, but other industries know that that's catastrophic. Politics is the only industry in which the competing sides just destroy each other on the air every 2 years, and then people are puzzled when the turnout is low. And
he says he supports the president's position. He says that he voted for the resolution. Well, just let me point this out. He voted for the resolution in 1955. He repeated that error in 1959 in a speech that he made. He repeated it again in a television debate that we had. Now, my point is this. Senator Kennedy has got to be consistent here.
What is a president charged with doing when he takes his oath of office? He raises his right hand and takes an oath of office to take care to faithfully execute the laws of the land. How can this happen? How can something this serious occur in an administration and have a president of the United States in a situation like this say he didn't know? A president must know these things. I don't know which is worse, not knowing or knowing and not stopping it.
50 million Americans get no tax relief under his plan.
That's not right.
You may not be one of them. You're just not one of the right people. And secondly, we've had enough fighting. It's time to unite. You talk about 8 years. In 8 years, they haven't gotten anything done on Medicare, on Social Security, a patient's Bill of Rights.
All right.
It's time to get something done.
Hey, we're going to move on.
I've got to
now.
answer that, Jim. Medicare, I cast the tie-breaking vote to add 26 years to the life of Medicare. It was due to go bankrupt in 1999, and that fact is just not right.
Both of you pledged to take the high road in this campaign, yet it has turned very nasty. Senator Obama, your campaign has used words like erratic, out of touch, lie, angry, losing his bearings to describe. McCain, your commercials have included words like disrespectful, dangerous, dishonorable. He lied. Your running mate said he palled around with terrorists. Are each of you tonight willing to sit at this table and say to each other's face what your campaigns and the people in your campaigns have said about each other?
That certainly would not help us.
in the Middle East.
I'm sorry.
Look,
you actually there was an effort on the part of the president to have a status of forces agreement, and I concurred in that and said that we should have some number of troops that stayed on. That was something I concurred with. That was your posture. That was my posture as well. You thought it should have been 5,000 troops. I thought it should have been more troops. But you know what? The answer was we got no troops through whatsoever.
This is just a few weeks ago that you indicated that we should still have troops in Iraq.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. That's it.
You made a major speech.
I indicated that you failed to put in place a status of forces agreement at the end of the conflict that existed.
Governor, here's one thing.
She never gets anything done, so naturally the wall wasn't built. But Hillary Clinton wanted the wall.
Well,
we are a country of laws. And by the way,
no, wait. I'd like to hear from. I'd like to hear from Secretary Clinton.
Bringing undocumented immigrants out from the shadows, putting them into the formal economy will be good, because then employers can't exploit them and undercut Americans' wages. And Donald knows a lot about this. He used undocumented labor to build the Trump Tower. He underpaid undocumented workers, and when they complained, he basically said what a lot of employers do: you complain, I'll get you deported.
But you were getting a lot of money from Russia. They were paying you a lot of money, and they probably still are. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people.
I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life. We learned that this president paid 50 times the tax in China, has a secret bank account with China, does business in China, and in fact is talking about me taking money. I have released all of my tax returns, 22 years. Go look at them. You have not released a single solitary year of your tax return. What are you hiding? Why are you unwilling?
Inauthenticity is endemic in American politics today. Those who would be leaders are all too often tempted to become what we think you want us to be, not leading at all, but following our best guess at public opinion. We tailor our public positions to reflect poll results and consultants' advice, then feed that data back to you in flattering ways. Everything from the clothing we wear to the places we vacation is selected data for political gain. The public square has never been so clamorous with deception. Excerpted from The Confession by James McGreevey.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
Well, when the president does it, that means that it is not illegal. By definition. Exactly.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never.
Clinton campaign calls this a crime reminiscent of Watergate, but worse. More than 1,900 emails released just this weekend. Former President Trump reportedly shared sensitive details about U.S. nuclear submarines with a wealthy Australian businessman.
An image never before seen in American history, a mugshot of former President Donald Trump.
New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez is facing a new federal charge.
The Justice Department accuses him of conspiring to act as a foreign agent to Egypt.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has announced his resignation exactly a week after that damning state attorney general investigative report was released, accusing him of sexually harassing 11 women.
Santos admitted that he lied about key details in his resume. But Santos also admitted that he never graduated from any college or university.
Yeah, the charges keep mounting. 23 additional charges. These ones are serious, are campaign finance violations. He's accused of credit card fraud and wire fraud.
New Treasury documents are revealing that bank investigators at Wells Fargo and J.P. Morgan Chase suspected Hunter Biden of being associated with a sex trafficking ring.
Federal grand jury has indicted President Biden's son Hunter on felony gun charges.
Is there any decency left in American politics? Byron Dorgun.